to the universe or to life, regardless of your own mental state, up, down, left, right, all around. If it's a beautiful day out, it's a beautiful day out. Acknowledge any positive you can, the moment you can. Especially if you find yourself kind of just blah, which is where I've been, and I think I have been gone for what, 4 days or so. Oh, what's up? Yo, okay. I was gonna call you, by the way. I wanted to also just add that I'm 100% available. I sent somebody else a text. You were the next one. So what's up, Stuck at Night, my old friend? The text was gonna be for the next couple of weeks. Like any day that you want to go live, just say so. I know that one night I ended up. Oh, there's some privacy there that I guess I'll talk to you about. But suffice it to say, there's a lot of jerking and, that sounds great, movements in my life that I was not prepared for, but brought onto myself, occurred, and I think you remember way back in the day, my old friend, that I just kind of, that particular day, which I fully intended to call you, I know. I fully intended to call you, but I ended up sleeping from like the entire day, all the way through the night. Something was wrong there. I have again. How many times do I personally go over this? Have I stopped caring about what anybody thinks about it? Absolutely. Recovery is something that we grant ourselves at any time in our lives. Addiction is a disease. Depression. I don't know about that personally, as that is something that there's some accountability involved in, where we have to put in the action. We have to actually make our own movements to take ourselves out of the negativity. So, yeah, no, it was oversleep, though. My old friend, Stuck at Night. That's the origin of this ranting voice, this nonstop spewing of consciousness. So I put a hashtag of withdrawal because with some inspiration from somebody that's I'd go as far as calling him a friend, in the sense that he's somebody I've known through the online's world for some time now. I met him through the whole arc where this channel was dedicated as a Ryan Upchurch kind of a tool, and he was originally, when I was like absolutely on the wrong side of the fence. And Watch Mojo, that little website that's got like over 1 million plus subscribers, highly commercialized. They got a huge platform. They listed in a top 50 list Ryan Upchurch's lawsuit. Oops, somebody's getting arrested. I hope it's not my family member that just went and walked the dog. Uh, the Ryan Upchurch's lawsuit was listed as like number 6 out of 50. What is going on here, man? Come on, Florida, keep it down just for a day. So I found that amusing, and how they mentioned immediately, oh yeah, and number 6 on this list of 50. 50 different things to talk about, 50 different YouTubers or conspiracies to talk about. That was actually on a list for Mojo, Watch Mojo. Go ahead and look it up on YouTube to see how huge it is. I, I love how he still, and this is not about Upchurch. It's just, it is another part of my life, or just a chapter that's not quite behind me entirely, until I see the consequences of those actions that he took part in, which he has not relented, has not apologized. He made a video about 4, 5, 6 days ago, double downing that he still has not seen evidence. What's up, Saffron? Good morning. He hasn't seen evidence of Kylie Rodney being real yet. What a piece of shit in every sense of the word. So, regardless, with back to me personally, and because I don't want to be gossiping about somebody else's problems and issues, because I see that's the food of YouTube, and that's what gets the clicks, right? That's why a show like Locale Live does so well, because they take, like yesterday, I'm a consumer. I'm so guilty. Who's not gonna go and watch Locale Live when they mention Joe Exotic from the Tiger King was gonna go and be on there, but he couldn't appear because the prison he is locked down in was locked down, literally. It was somebody tried to escape the day prior, and they absolutely, like, I'd be surprised if this doesn't get all clipped up. Not this here, but yesterday's locale live stream with Keemstar and Boogie, by getting Joe Exotic involved, the very shady people that are helping felicitate him being on the show via the phone are trying to push some pump and dump crypto scam, and it's so funny watching them kind of crash out and totally lean into it. And which, you know what, I got to give them credit. Right in the middle of the show, they learned they're not going to get their premier guest that they had like 5,000 people in their chat waiting for, and they just rolled with the punches. And slowly it became the shit show that it is. But it's amazing how much money shit makes these days. People seem to love a shit show. So maybe it's not always a bad thing when I see that my viewer count is not what it used to be. And you can't think about things like that. Think about what's in my heart, what's in my mind. And right now, the changes I want to make are changes that I'm pretty hell bent on, which is why I have. Oh, yeah, happy Passover. That's a thing. I lost my Jewish star. I guess I lost my Jewish-ish card, which is alarming. Can I get one for free? Is there like a Jewish card I can pull and say, yo, throw one in for the homies? I'm a part of the club? No. Where was I going with this? Okay, so I guess, I don't know. Back to my own personal mental health. I made a personal decision that I didn't want to put up with some things that were occurring. Hello, TikTok, leave me alone. That I felt I had some level of control with. And if any of this resonates, if you feel like you would have done something similar, reacted in a similar manner, feel free to say something in the chat. Otherwise, I'll speak into the wind. But I left a corporate position to work with a family, and I don't want to use any names because I don't want to slander anybody by name, but I will call out actions. And what I found kind of amusing, while I still have the utmost respect and adoration for the people in the family that took me in after, me leaving on amicable terms years ago, but upon my return, there was such chaos. Would you put up with this if your employment or employer will crash out, quote unquote, rage out, and text you during the rage out, crash out? Oh my God. You know, that guy, the not distractions fella, I hope you're well if you come by and watch for whatever reason. I saw you left a bunch of laugh emojis. Why are you so vague, bro? Just like use words to communicate. It's okay. It's safe to communicate. Like nothing happens. You won't harm yourself if you actually type what you mean, other than the ominous like emoji art of emojis. And we're like older adults. We're not like the Gen Xers or whatever the hell. We're not a part of the very young generation that uses emojis and LMFAO. Well, I'll use a good old LMFAO. Yeah, the vague shit. I know. Um. So yeah, I don't know where once again you'll hear me repeat this often, and it's probably a bit of a manic state that I'm in. Oh yeah, what you would put up with? Would you put up with like the person that is above you, that is your boss, that does pay you? I would be remiss if I said it was a fantastic paycheck, but at what point do you say I don't have to put up with this when after you leave and your 2 days off begin, you have to learn to expect uh, messages at any time from 4 to 8 in the morning lambasting you about any old shit that could be thought up? Or how do you feel about constantly 24/7 around the clock uh, being recorded, not only visibly but audibly? So your every word, no matter how it was intended or interpreted, or the intent behind it, whatever, like your bosses have full control to make their own kind of content out of you. They can listen in on every conversation you have, every comment you make, and and then you'd get like punished. Like the people I'm not gonna name, like would take away certain I don't know, freedoms. Like, for example, a little too much, right? That thank you for the confirmation there, because I know I'm not the crazy one here. I'll take accountability for not deciding to leave in a professional manner, but that was the first response when I decided to be like, no, I can't do it anymore. I cannot take this kind of negative attacking me. It's the first. It's like best part of waking up is bitching in your cup. Like that was some shit. That was starting to wear me down. Like on a psychological level. It was bringing me to an area that I was not happy to be in. So, look, I've been a great saver of monies because I've been working since, I say this many times in my life with the camera on, since I was 12 years old. You know how old I am now? If you've been here before, you probably do. I'm 40. I've been saving since I was 12. Wish I saved better, but I saved well. So I have a nest egg. I don't intend to be taking any vacations here, but I'm going to take some time. And I'm going to also do an impromptu, totally against any medical advice here, but I will inform the doctor I see, who is not really a fantastic involved doctor, just kind of like, yeah, okay, you don't say, really? I could say, dude, I'm gonna burn your house down like in Minecraft. I could say that, and he'd be like, oh, no kidding, yeah, okay, gotcha, here's your whatever the hell you want. Have a good one, man. See you in 3 months or something, or whenever you decide to come back. That's the kind of doctor I've been seeing for, oh my god, man, well over a decade. That's not really help. So maybe if I want to change anything, that's maybe perhaps one of the first things I need to address instead of one of the things which I've already begun, trying to detox again in my life off of Suboxone. I stopped drinking entirely, which that seems to be an easy light switch of mine. Just cold turkey. Thank you, by the way. All right. Oh, please keep me posted, by the way, Stuck. And I don't know if you saw the last live I did. It was me totally talking about the pictures that we both saw and that exist. And I was hoping that you would show that to him or he would see it and make some sort of a comment about how we would both have some shared mass hysteria about pictures that do not exist that we both remember, where he's holding a sword behind your vehicle. Totally didn't happen, but it's there in in our heads, and we know it happened. I did go through some very old conversations. There's others I have to go on my other account and see if it's there, but it's somewhere. It happened. We'll find it one way or another. Please feel free to peep it, or I'll timestamp it. So, yeah, it was draining, and I felt it was wrong. And one of the things, like maybe this is my own fault, I could have, and I've seen this individual who I'm still thankful for. He put money in my pocket, but I didn't appreciate what I had to accept in turn. And then I kind of haphazardly told him I did not appreciate getting texted like that when I'm not at the job. Maybe I should have been more articulate about it and said, do not, yeah, take care, Josh. Have a great one, brother. Do not bring me that stress or that mess or that breakdown that you seem to have on a weekly, almost daily basis onto my phone directly straight from screen to brain. And I'm immediately met with anxiety, anger, and it's no, it's not healthy. And so it made me feel very awkward. And he was once so angry. He was angry enough to say, "I'm your boss, and I can text you whenever the fuck I want." So this is a man that is I still have like an appreciation in my heart, but that's not a friend. That's like a borderline tyrant there, and I will not throw the business under the bus because I appreciate the family, and some of the other coworkers, even though I'm sure every time my name is brought up, it's probably brought up with spit, just like other people that were there that have left. And one of the last things that happened there was a baseless accusation of me talking to somebody that used to work there for years, that like ran the whole show. And he was like, "I'm gonna find out anyway. You talking to this person?" I'm like, "What the? Come on, man. Come on." Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction. So it made me miss the professionalism that he was ironically demanding in my leaving, given that context. And then I started to miss the safety net of the corporate area that I left behind. So, being fully transparent, I've been always good at maintaining my relations with people that are in a position to help me get back up on my feet at anywhere that I'd want to have, or I'd need an assist, so to speak. So, yeah, Saffron, I think you put the nail on the head there. I haven't had an actual therapist since I was like 19, and that ended very dramatically. Oh, God, do I actually. I gotta be careful about being as transparent about some of the stuff I do, even though my whole channel is just a chronicle of every fuck up I've ever done in my life, so why stop now, right? It's probably already been said before, but I can go as far back. Remember, 40 years old now. Last time, 19, I was seeing a free therapist, but it was a student, and the first session was with an actual doctor that was with the student. Then the student gets to, you're their guinea pig. And I was like, 19, severely depressed, 19 or 20. It's one of those two ages. And I was just eating random freaking pills. Just made it clear once I shared that, when I went back for the next session, I was informed by this therapist that she is not legally allowed to handle me anymore because I was too much of a risk. Which, with full hindsight here, with all the years I have to look back at that moment, what if like that was the ultimate cry for help, and what if that would have been the thing to push me over the edge? Look at all these other examples of people that reach out, and then you see they do something heinous. That's not this guy, okay? Don't worry, I'm not on any lists, okay? Feel free to go ahead and troll me and put me on one or something, though. Um, just with that context, we see when somebody acts out at society, or look at the recent Luigi with the insurance thing. Like, think of all the times many of these people that end up becoming monsters and unforgivable. That's not the case with Luigi, who I have some compassion for, because that one hits close to home. But other cases, and for whatever reason, yes, I do study some of that stuff because I like studying everything that's just ever been in the news, and that's something inescapable in our culture. That element of our, so I'm getting massive text messages right now, of our society failing that person that is trying to reach out and say, "I'm not doing well, look how close I am to doing harm to myself." And I'm just like putting this in the context of remembering at that age of like 20 years old being told, "Oh, you just shared that you tried to actually end your life in Minecraft. I can't help you anymore. You're too dangerous." What kind of a what kind of help is that? So they were that institution, that service was more afraid of their liability, of me hurting myself, than than what? I don't know, because I think it just hypothetically could have been something so much worse. So there you go. That's just what I was pondering. This was just me wanting to return and just be like, hey, I'm okay. I got plenty of green to kind of rest up, and I'm drying up again. I intend to like, without counting all my ducks in a row here, I want to have at least a couple of months of no drinking again under the belt. I just missed the clarity, and hopefully I'll enjoy it so much that it'll stick, but we'll see. And I do need to not just rely on myself or self-diagnosing and thinking I know better than professionals, and maybe see a professional. I got some time now. And I do have a friend of mine that can literally come here because he's got a business, and I can sell a crap ton of the novelty retro items I have: comic books, Super Nintendo, video games, and cards, and all this crap that I have. I got thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars of stuff and vinyl records and old coins, things that can be liquidated, and I think it's just, not getting younger. Why not build as big a nest egg as possible and live as comfortably as possible while I am young enough to do so? Yes, I agree, because Saffron, once upon a time, it was when I was 16 where I didn't actually need a therapist. It was only me going through, like, my girlfriend kind of woes, like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, I feel terrible. And I had a great doctor. I actually believe we got along so well that we would actually talk on the phone. Maybe inappropriate in hindsight, but I remember her saying, and she was pretty hot. I don't know her age. I don't remember her age. Saying, "Oh my God, I don't usually do this," and she would be like on my cell phone, and I would be on using call waiting, talking to my girlfriend, switching over to her and giving her an update, and she'd be like giggling like a schoolgirl, being like, "Eli, I don't do this with anybody else, but I just can't help it with you." Maybe seeking a connection like that. Well, no, let's focus on seeking on the help aspect, and then going from there. And I'll take your concern and consideration for. I'll take it to heart, Saffron. I concede. I think you're right. And now would be the perfect time. So let's see where the next freaking episode and chapter of my chaotic life goes. Because that's, if there's one guarantee, there's no happy endings guaranteed in anything, or outcomes, or no matter what, regardless your intent. You can count on quite a journey, though. So if that's the case, I sure have been walking or having the experience of a journey, but it is not within the parameters of what I thought would be where I would be back, in my younger days, looking at where I am now. Yeah, I'm not as happy as I should be. So, I'll surrender to that. That's it. I'm willing to wear my heart on my sleeve. Consequences be damned. That invites an element of the internet that's dangerous, but it doesn't bother me anymore, given all the demons that we all learn to fight in our life. Appreciate it. Thank you, Saffron. Alright, I'm gonna go now. I've been writing an inventory of all the stuff that I am willing to sell. There are some things I do want to keep, but I'm liquidating at least maybe 70% of my collection, namely the comic book collection and all of my old video games. Hopefully I can get a nice couple bucks out of that and add it to my savings. Because, yeah, the bills that come, it's no bullshit. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you for listening and your patience and your kindness. And hey, take the time to appreciate the beauty that is the sky, or whatever it is you find that is the beauty in your life. That's all for now. Felt like a lot of blah 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 gibberish.